before we go on to the next topic, I just want to have everyone sort of quick thoughts on, do you think this puts the nail in the coffin on signing an unbelievable midfielder, 60 mil plus, like Aurelien Tchouameni? Matty, I know me and you are absolutely desperate for Jude Bellingham. I'm as hopeful as ever. I think we'll go in for him. I just don't think we'll sign him. But I mean, you can hit me with your optimism and tell me that we're going to sign Jude Bellingham too.
I do think it's possible. Like, people always say, "Oh, Dortmund won't sell Haaland and Bellingham in the same summer," but they sold Goethe, Hummels, and someone else in the same summer. And the year before, lost Lewandowski, and I think it was Kagawa they sold in the same summer. So you will sell people. It's just if you put the money where the price is, and all that talk will wait till next year. Why? Bellingham will have another year's experience in it. He'll be better. All our rivals midfield will be a year older. I think the likes of City and that will probably go in for him next summer. I think them getting Haaland probably dampen down much. I mean, I know they've got unlimited summer money, but I don't think they could get Bellingham and Haaland through within 1 year on the FFP and do anything else, to be honest. So I think we'll get Bellingham. I think you're mad if you think he's not special. You just need to watch him. He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. He's generation. That's why Dortmund paid 25 million for him when he was 16. That's how good he is. But if we don't get him, I don't know who we'll get, because Klopp is stubborn and he'll wait. We've seen it with Van Dijk. We've seen it with Alisson. So we could maybe go into the season with ideally a midfielder down, because he'll wait for Bellingham, and that's the scary thing for me. I'd probably still go and get Nkunku, to be honest, because we're losing the likes of Minamino, Diox, etc. I'd get Nkunku because he can play centre mid as well as a little bit more attacking. So you've got the options in midfield and attack for him. So I do think we need another midfielder who'd start, just because can Jordan Henderson, I know he played, was like 80% of the games last year. Can he do that again this year? We've got Thiago who picks up a knock here and there. So I just hope we aren't stubborn, Harry. I really do, because I think we will be stubborn and wait for Bellingham if we can't get him this summer. But I think this summer's possible.
Yeah, Tino, as Matty said, we are stubborn, but we also usually have like 2 or 3 backup options. And going into the summer, we all said we needed 2 midfielders, a striker, and a winger. Yes, we've signed a striker. I think there's still a possibility we sign a winger. We're in talks with a lot of players by the sounds of it, and these aren't British journalists comparing this.
If Salah does sign a new deal, do we realistically need another attacking option?
Yeah, I think so.
I think we do, without a shadow of a doubt.
I think we need some.
Nunez is ultimately replacing Mane. Diaz was ultimately Mane's long-term replacement. Then you've got Jota, who's like the flexible option. You've got Bobby.
Jota is shit on the wing, though.
But that's what I mean. You've got Bobby, Jota, Diaz, Nunez.
Exactly,
Salah.
And then you look at the wingers. You've only got 2 wingers who are good. I think we need someone.
There, though,
I think we need someone who can play on the right and left. Ideally, someone who's both-footed. Who that is, I don't know. I don't think it's Rafinha. But Tino, going on to it, we're all getting a bit crazy. We've been given a little bit of money, and now we think we're signing everyone under the sun. The likelihood is Nunez is probably our big transfer, but I still think we need a midfielder. Could you see us signing one? It looks like we're getting our business done early as well, which is a good sign.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of doubt, getting our business done early is a great sign. It avoids, to a certain extent, a lot of the monotonous rumours of the same players and the same transfer news week in, week out till the transfer window closes. Now we're potentially signing Nunez. I don't think we will. I think he's going to be our one main guy, and I think with Ox potentially leaving and a couple of others, I think Jurgen will rely heavily on Curtis Jones on a couple of the other youngsters to come through. Carvalho coming in, potentially playing along that forward line, and or in that attacking midfield role. I think he's going to rely quite heavily on the youngsters rather than bringing in another centre mid. I think that's the wrong decision. But then again, I'm not the manager of Liverpool Football Club, so who am I to tell Jurgen Klopp is wrong? I don't know who that'd be though in terms of bringing in a midfielder. You look at the names we've been linked with, and I don't see any of them being realistically signing this summer. Eriksen on a free potentially, like Ash has just said in the comment. I'd be a great signing. But again, I think his heart's set at going back to Tottenham. Because if he was going to stay at Brentford, surely he'd have signed a new deal already. I'm not sure. I really don't think we sign another midfielder as much as I'd really, really love us to.
Jay, I mean, looking as non-biased as possible, yes, as fans we want us to sign, a million players in a million different positions and walk the league. But looking at a more realistic standpoint, can you see Liverpool now going out and spending some more money on maybe like a decent midfielder, a decent winger, or do you think the rest of them are going to be, cheap youngsters who can improve, or not cheap, but relatively affordable youngsters who can improve under Klopp?
Well, I'm not one of them fans who expects footy manager transfers, but this Darwin Nunez transfer, if it's 80 million, that's already nearly funded. So let's say Mane's 40, Taki's 17, Nico's 15, Nat Phillips is 15. You've made your money back. That's before Oxlade-Chamberlain's even been sold, who's on high wages. So Ox's wages already replace Nunez's wages, would replace Ox's. Then you've made 90 or 100 million off selling them players who barely get a sniff in the first team anyway. We surely had a transfer budget before even thinking of selling these players. So I don't see why there wouldn't be 100 million there to spend. Surely Liverpool has a 100 million budget before we've even done the Nunez signing. The sales that we make cover that, and the wages cover it. So I see no reason why we can't go big on a midfielder. I think we should be.
100%. I'm still very strong on the midfielder train. I don't know why. I've just got a sneaky suspicion. Absolutely no sources from this. Me mayonnaise in the fridge, but I just think we're gonna poke Dortmund and see what they say. I think we might go in with like a 60 mil bid and see if if they're like, well, a few extra million, you might get him. But we need a midfielder. It's as straightforward as that. But yeah, so
there's been Phillips linked, but I don't even think I want him. Like I rate how I do rate him. I think he's class, but I just don't think he's good enough for Liverpool. I don't think
he doesn't bring nothing new, Matty. That's what it is with him. He's what we've got, but a bit better. He doesn't bring any forward passing or creativity or unlock on the defence. He hasn't got any of that. He's like Henderson, but better a little bit.
Yeah. They want 60 mil from him as well, which, you add an extra 20 mil and you've got Dortmund seriously thinking about selling Jude Bellingham for that.
Makes so much more sense in terms of his English as well.
Yeah.
That's worth a lot in football, having a homegrown player, especially with the new rules and stuff. So we probably would spend big if it meant hitting a homegrown quota.
Yeah, definitely.